These are poems from Catullus, the Roman poet, urban, sophisticated, young, desperate from time to time. And this is one of his most famous poems, Vivamus mea Lesbia atque amemus. And the first version is in Scots and the second version is in English. The Scots is from Buckie, where I was born and brought up. And it's a kind of conversational Scots with some embellishment that I would be used to growing up in the town. Vivamus mea Lesbia atque amemus. Love liebe lats, and tak were take, and couldn't make for a' the havers o' Coursal men. Suns ging doon and sklim another day, to us oor totty flichter tint, nichts a swaven streeks forever. 1,000 smoorich skies, 100 sign, another 1,000, a second 100, another 1,000, voorbij 100 meer. And van there's thousands after thousands, dicht de skleet, and dinna wreck, or ony gollich gars as ill, can it's geloosed, hoe lang or aft we've clapped and clicked. In the English version, Vivamus mea Lesbia atque amemus. Lizzie, let's live and love and count the vapourings of strict old men with one cold coin. Suns may sink and sally back, when our brief light is by, night's asleep that's sealed forever. Give me 1,000 kisses, then 100, another 1,000, 100 to follow, still another 1,000, and 100 more. And when we've wantoned all those thousands, wreck the tally, and never know, lest any think our kisses ill, and grudge how many. Carmina 23. Furi qui neque servus est, neque arca. Jockey Maloon, you've nae flunkies, nae bobbies, nae bumbies, nae spiders, nae fire in the grate, nothing but a feather and a guid step mither with jaws that could crunch up buckies on the beach. It's a grand life, though, with yon pair, the all man and his monument to a wife. Nae winner, you're hardy and fine, nae rummels in your wame, nae aggravation, nae thunderbolts nor cracks in the reef, nothing ta'en, nothing plotted, nothing pugnant, nae bother at a'. Constitution bane dry, with hate and caul and lack of mate, perfectly dehydrated. What mair could you ask? Nae swite, nae spit, nae snotter, nae a jot, clean's a fussel. Your very cockhole runs clear as a cellar of sot. You couldna shite mair nor 10 times a 12-month, and sign it's as hard as a bull or a bean. Rolled or rubbed in your hand, it wouldn't even blad your finger in. Nae a blessing to be sneezed at that, jockey. Tuck tent. That sub you were seeking, the fiver. Aye, leave t'weel alane. You're doing just grand athoot it. Carmina 30. Alfene, immemor atque unanimis false sodalibus. Nu epi, you've let doon your friends. You've let me doon tea, and we was like breathers. Is this the way the world works noo? Nae trust or nothing? Is this what you think the poor's a been take a reed rosy shine till? It seems that way. I'm left to fend for mysel. What can folk do? Wha's left to rely on? I was ta'en recht an, courted, cosseted. Now all your courtesies, all your fine wordies are nothing but vapour, a parcel of ween, and you a vanishing vapour tea. Ach, awa, though ye dinna mind, the gods'll nae forget. You'll get a reckoning yet for faith oursel. Carmina 32. Amabo mea dulcis Ipsitilla. I'm priggin, bosy bellicky, my bee-ball, my gowpin. Wag a pinky, fetch us round to fill the afternoon. And if you would, check out the snibs nae on you yet. They're dinna gang fidging to done out by, but bide for ye are. Get spunk for a low, and 9 dirlings dab in the dreel. Nae kiddin', if onson's shacking at a', just gies the word. I'm cocket candy on the couch, my dinner's doon, my breeks are heich like an ice cream cone. Carmina 34. Egnatius quod candidos habet dentes. Iggy, because he happens to have white teeth, slaps on a permanent grin. Suppose he approaches the plaintiff's bench, the advocate plucking at the heartstrings. There's that smile. When tears are tripping a mother bereft at the grave of her own sweet biddable boy, he's smiling still. Whatever it is, wherever he is, whatever else he may be up to, you can guarantee his pan stays cracked. It's an ailment he's got, in my view, neither flattering nor a fit state to be. I'll tell you, Ignatius, old cheese, if you were a Cockney, a Brummie, or a Geordie, or a Lardass Liverpudlian, a blob from Belfast, or a black and tusky Cardiffite, or a Keeley for nearest and dearest, or anyone else that cleans their teeth with clean tap water, I still wouldn't want you to plaster on that everlasting, gob-stretching grin. Nothing dies a death like a manufactured laugh. As it is, you're a mealy, and in mealy land every day the mealies work their teeth and rosy gums with what was piss that morning. So the more refulgent the choppers, the more piss you're seen to have downed or floated over. Carmina 43. Salve neque minimo puella naso. Well, in this piece, the man complains that, or the boy complains that his girlfriend is unfairly compared to somebody else. In other words, the other woman doesn't deserve the comparison, and he rather takes it out on her. Salve neque minimo puella naso. Fine day, you with a tatty for a nose, parentes, glycatine, fingers like sausages, wee dribbling moo, tongue like a lamprey out for its dinner, braggart is bonny at the back of the bin, jammy piece to some mealy for Keith, and oor muggy Jean compare it with you. Awa, it's nae wise, it's nae funny. Carmina 49. Disertissime Romuli nepotum. In this short piece, Catullus addresses Cicero, the great rhetorician, speaker in the Senate, and praises him for being the best of his type. And I've put my own name in, paying the same tribute. Disertissime Romuli nepotum. To you, most honey-tongued of all the kin of Romulus, those that are, those that have been, Marcus Tullius, those to be and years to come, Alexander renders warmest thanks. Of Macars the nadir, as much the nadir of Macars as you of persuaders the zenith or apogee. Carmina 58. Caeli, Lesbia nostra, Lesbia illa. In this short piece, Catullus complains bitterly of Lesbia, who's abandoned him, and now basically says she's hooring about. And I've put it in a Scottish context, rather ironically, but there you go. Caeli, Lesbia nostra, Lesbia illa. Kyle, oor Lizzie, yon Lizzie, ane and the same Lizzie that Cutty loved mair nor himsel, mair nor I's ain, these days at crossroads, doon backwinds, pilks the nevies of bonny Prince Charlie. Carmina 64. Noli admirari, quare tibi femina nulla. Catullus addresses one of his enemies and says, look, it's no wonder nobody comes near you, given the smell that's coming off you. Noli admirari, quare tibi femina nulla. It's no mystery why no woman seeks to place her soft thigh under yours, Rufus, not even if you stagger her with gifts of next to nothing finery or flawless, scintillating stone. The bad word that wounds is this: you have grim goat squatting in your oxters. That is what they all dread. Not surprising. It's a rank thing entirely, and not something to lay down next to a beautiful girl. Put that poisonous smell out of existence, or never wonder more why they flee. Carmine 83, Lesbia mi praesente viro mala plurima dicit. Catullus takes rather malicious satisfaction in a domestic situation where he is obviously represented and involved. Lesbia mi praesente viro mala plurima dicit. Libby's aye backhashing me when our man's there. He thinks it's a recht lach, douf Egypt. Nae bother if I'm never ent, but the fact she's aye bubbling and gurning marks it clear I'm nae forgotten. Fitzmare she's fashed. In other words, nae just blethering, but bleezing. Carmine 86. Quintia formis est multis, mihi candida longa. In this short piece, Catullus praises Lesbia, Libby, but at the expense of poor Bunty, who has been compared to her but doesn't deserve the comparison. Quintia formis est multis, mihi candida longa. A'body's on about Bunty's bonny. Blonde, I'll grant ye, a lang drink of water, nae hump as far as I can tell, guid pints there, a puckle, aye, but nothing that tots up the bonny. For fit's there to fancy, and a yon grand carcass, nae a smidge and a sot. Libby's a beezer, bra, bean fae top to tail, a' the gowans o' other deems she's gathered till hersel. Carmine 94. Mentula conatur piplium montem scandere. Here Catullus takes a swipe at someone he calls Mentula, and you'll find out what that means, who has aspirations as a poet, and Catullus lets him know in these three versions. There's three versions of the same thing, just what he thinks of that. Mentula conatur piplium montem scandere. Putz tries it on and up Parnassus, pitchfork down as soon as the muses sussed it was him. Dicky boy tilts at the mound of Minerva, all in vain, forked and tossed by the wise young lovely ones, straight back down again. Tot wi tackets up the Macher's munt, and doon the clart wi grapes, as seens the wifey saw fa 'twas. Carmine 97. Non ita me diament quicquam refere putavi is a particularly fragrant piece from Catullus. I'll just leave it at that. Non ita me diament quicquam refere putavi. It canna matter, michty me, whether Dory's moo or erse lets flee, it's a toss-up for sotter atween the twa. Nae duty shite holes a sicht easier to thole, nae teeth there. The trap's got fangs as lang's your arm, gums like a dung-cart, and cracking like a cuddy's cunt pishing out in simmer. Oh, but he's the bee's knees, the blaggart rides Athen, had him teed in the millstane. Ony limmer gloms onto that, could easy sook plooks off a scaffy's backside.